Hello everybody! Streaming. What happened last time? Well, not too much. I didn't go for too long because I was doing it on a Thursday and I kind of was getting ready for a trip over the weekend and that went well, but as far as anything else goes, well, I got ripped back from Terra to Tokyo. And because I got ripped back from Terra to Tokyo, I met the band and the security dude, the bodyguard, and some dudes stalking me via text message. No, not in real life, in the game. Alright, don't get too worried. Hello, welcome. You're just in time for us to get started. Just hit the continue button. Violate convention center. They really called it a convention center. Nice. This is supposed to be a rock band, not a freaking... I walk back to the center of the room and look around. It appears that everyone is anxious and restless. It must have been a long night for them all. But answers are so close, so we all hold out together. I scan the room a few times over. An eerie silence fills the area. I feel like I should perhaps break it. No, that... Oh, woo, okay. No, not that way. Before I could do anything, the large doors open. Someone walks out and exchanges glances with everyone. This must be Singe and the conference room entrance. Thank you all for being here today. Even though we've all had no sleep, I'm honored that you chose to be here. He bows to us, much like Rocker. In a few minutes, the press will come. The doors will be unlocked for everyone. I'd be honored if you came in first. Stop breaking wind law. Hey, I had to break the mood, man. I'd like for us all to get up. I'd like for us all to be on the stage. I want us to appear united in this crisis. As a team, with nothing between us. We've endured a tragedy. We need to show the world our strength. We are a family, even in grief. Our public image is very important now. We must remain as resolute as possible. We can't have anything falter today. Please, come and take your seats with me. We will begin as soon as the room fills up. He bows again and goes into the conference hall. Not a moment later, we all start to follow him, unsure of what the conference has in store, and unsure of what shocking truths await the world. Chapter 4? Or are we on 5? Nope, no chapter, just transition. The morning after the tavern incident. Is this back in Terra? Yep. God, it's been so long since Lord Player's been a thing. What was my voice for him again? I'm sorry, this is a lot to take in. Would you mind starting from the beginning? I haven't had my morning coffee just yet. My mind is cloudy, to say the least. You're not the only one who's taken aback. These events shocked me as well, my lord. I apologize for keeping my agenda hidden. You would have never endorsed my actions, even if they were for the greater good. So I had to take things into my own hands. Of course, and I still don't believe it. Edimon and Conrad are my trusted allies. I laugh at the notion of their betrayal. I'd never dedicate resources to that, yet here we are in the present. You have evidence backing your claim, and the music is getting loud again. Shush you! Shh. Take it down. Take it down a bit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course. I always validate my word. Last night I ventured to the tavern. Anyone and Conrad were still there as well. But they had someone with them. An immigrant from another world. One they will not be giving to you. In fact, they are bringing him to Velasquez. This directly violates your truce. Were they not to bring everyone to you? You're keeping tabs on this immigration. Yes, that was the plan, Riley. All of it should go through me. Easier to keep track of that way. Is there a chance you misheard things? Perhaps they used Valakwa as a cover, just in case anybody overheard. Impossible. They filed the paperwork. This immigrant is now fully sanctioned. They violated the truce, my lord. Indeed. That is irreparable proof. It's impossible for me to work with that. This immigrant is now in the records. But I wonder, what does Valakwa want? Of all people, he wants an immigrant? They must be quite an important person. Of that I am sure. But I feel that it's irrelevant. No explanation can excuse betrayal. And you know Valakwa's stance on that. He's too friendly to these off-worlders. I'm glad I was able to open your eyes. You're right, and I appreciate that. But now my curiosity is affecting me. Just who could this immigrant be? My two main allies would betray me, and the king wants to see them personally. There might be more here than meets the eye. Again, I am not sure. But you can ask them yourself. I did what you would have wanted, my lord. I took action after seeing this betrayal. It was either that, or let them win. I paid this off-worlder a visit. One thing led to another, however. They ended up passing out. It was unfortunate, of course, but an opportunity presented itself. I took them. They're in our prison, along with the other immigrants. What? Riley, how could you be so foolish? I can't believe that what you're telling me. Do you realize what you've done? You've abducted a legal immigrant. One that was wanted by the king. Velasquez will have us under scrutiny. You keep coming to me with revelations. First, it was that Kalen worked for Righty, but then you go and do this to us? We'll have two assassins target us, under the pressure of a loyal mission, too. And everything was going good for once. I can't believe you would do this. Discretion was our greatest ally, Riley. Two guilds will soon be upon us. Please, Lord Player, I can't explain. There must have been a lapse in your judgment. Trust me, this is far worse than a lapse. If I didn't trust you, I'd almost think... Player stops in the middle of his sentence. At that point, he comes to a shocking revelation. You wanted me to get caught.
Yep, he wanted you to get caught because he's a bloody traitor.
Oh no, we lost people. Oh no! We all file into the conference room, one by one. Everyone brings their sense of anxiety with them. It isn't long until we reach the stage area. It's lined with enough seats to fit us all. We stare onwards at the empty room before us. Soon it would be filled with those who seek answers. Fans, press, and everyone in between. But there was a common goal among them: enlightenment. I sit on the far right side, with Keela to my left. There was Archon, Singe, Shocker, and Rocker. Shocker and Rocker. Shocker and Rocker. A woman with long yellow hair is there as well. That's the diva lady, isn't it? Inumi sits beside her, with Rook to his left. Welcome to opening ceremonies. Sorry. It seems like everyone is here, save for Jade. But when the door opens, people spill in. Sure enough, she's among the press and citizens. It seems like Akaran and Singe are getting along. They're lost in conversation amongst themselves. I would have started the conference I've started the conference long ago, but Singe is probably waiting for latecomers. After a while, he picks up his microphone. It appears that every seat on the stage has their own. Would I expected to be talking during this? The moment Singe speaks, the crowd becomes silent. I'd like to... He cuts himself off. There's extreme feedback coming from the mic. Some in the audience cover their ears. I'd like to thank you all for coming. So many raspberries. I don't think that one's... I know it's early, but this has to be done. A long wait means more restlessness. And that means filling in the blanks. I've called you here to be fully open. Something has hurt us profoundly. We'll carry it with us forever. It'll scar us for years to come. So please, be respectful. There will be no flash photography today. Or recording of any videos for that matter. Oh god, oh, sorry guys. Stream's over. Can't record, sorry. However, audio recording is an exception. Okay, I guess that counts. So it's like a Trump press briefing. No cameras. I understand some of you need notes, especially the members of the press, but this is as far as we can go. With that said, I will now begin. I relay this news with a heavy heart. Last night, our own idol passed away. At midnight, Clace was murdered. The audience starts talking amongst themselves. I hear several people scribbling down on notepads. The cause of death was asphyxiation, but it was under mysterious circumstances. It implies suicide, but that can't be true. Clace was not the type to do this, especially so close to the tour's launch. It's an impossibility. Please disregard it. With that said, I will take questions, but please remain considerate today. Remember, we are in a state of grief. Oh god, here we go. Singe, sir, I have a question if you're willing. By all means, Fukumoto. Feel free to ask whatever you like. You mentioned the method of death. Asphyxiation under mysterious circumstances. Exactly how is asphyxiation mysterious? A lack of oxygen is not mysterious. I'm afraid I'm a little confused. The press and the audience starts nodding in agreement, as if this was the question all on their minds. You are correct, and I'm glad you asked. I hope you ask the same to the police. They hastily branded these as suicides. Clace had markings around his neck. They imply the use of a noose, but there was no noose at the scene. Well then, that's definitely odd. Thank you for answering my question. Fukumoto returns to his seat. I'm surprised he didn't twist any of Singe's words. This is why the official ruling is odd. The lack of evidence is very suspicious, and it implies several possibilities. The body may have been moved post-mortem, or the culprit made off with the evidence. Both point to the same shocking truth. These were murders, plain and simple. The affected families deserve the truth. Why were our loved ones taken from us? And who committed these egregious crimes? I stand here today speaking for the many, those who lost their husbands, their wives, even their children and siblings. The police must reinvestigate this case. They cannot give up so easily. And they will have my full cooperation. There's one thing that I want to accomplish. This case will be closed before we leave. We will return to America enlightened. And to that end, I will move on. To the subject of our world tour, and precisely what will happen next. I am proud to announce we will continue. The tour will go on as it was planned. The audience bursts into conversation again. Seems that they weren't expecting this announcement. We will do what Clace would have wanted. Instead of backing down, we persevere. Daz will be heading the tour in his place. She has graciously agreed to this burden. I cannot thank her enough. Surely it is a monumental undertaking. He motions to the woman with yellow hair. Oh, interesting. So that's who she was. The launch will turn into a memorial. Not just for Clace, but for everyone. Every person affected by these deaths. A series of his hits will be performed, but Daz will sing some new songs as well. Shock and Rocker will stay to help out. We as a family will honor the lost, as well as launch Daz's new career. Trust me, she is very talented. And that was definitely a lot to take in. I guess they have a steady supply of idols. Oh, that was nice. She must be talented to follow in Clace's shadow. My monologuing is very rude. I will open questions one more time. Are there any reporters in the universe other than me? No? No? Okay, I'll ask a question then. This will be my last question, Singe. But I'm asking this as a friend. Are you worried for the safety of Daz? And of the Lucky Two? What if the culprit strikes again? What precautions have you taken? Actually, I'm not worried about this at all. There's no evidence of us being targeted. But there is a little more to explain. In fact, I have one last announcement. And I have full clearance to reveal this. Please do not assume I am leaking any information. But have a seat while I continue. Very well. Now, this information is known only to me. I haven't revealed it to anybody, not even those involved in the tour. What could it be? I notice Archon shifts uncomfortably in his seat. It looks like he's annoyed at hearing this. I will be keeping everybody in here. I won't allow them to leave this building. But this is for a very specific reason. And it involves Armstrong Incorporated. Wait, he's keeping us here? And what does this have to do with Armstrong? Archon's ears perk up, and he looks visibly angry. I know Maxine Armstrong piqued curiosity. Her arrival in Tokyo was quite mysterious. But today, we will reveal the truth. She gave me an offer when she arrived, and I wanted protection for everyone here, both by hired guards and technology. This is the sole reason she's in Tokyo. She offered us the best of her services. We are safe now, by so many means. It was all our doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't protect Clace. I feel somewhat at fault for his death. I caved in under some pressure. I initially had him on a tight leash. I didn't want him getting into trouble. But people said I was being too harsh. I decided to give him some freedom. And then, look what it caused. I should have stuck with my gut feeling. I remember hearing him say something about that yesterday. That Clace was being kept on a really tight leash. They said it was because the public was scared of him. Because the death started as soon as he arrived. I could see now that this was not the real reason. Singe was just trying to keep him safe from harm. I'm ashamed for not realizing that sooner. The explanations I heard earlier must have been lies. I don't think the public was scared of Clace at all. It seemed that it was Singe who was scared all along. I apologize for getting off track there, but it was my answer to your question. That's why I'm not worrying anymore. This time, I will keep the tight leash. Nobody will be allowed to leave on my watch. We'll be under constant surveillance, which was spelled wrong. Surveil the surveillance. Further harm will be impossible. Everyone will now be protected. This time, I will stick to my instinct. I will trust in the guard I have hired, and I will trust in Armstrong Incorporated. Archon jumps out of his chair at hearing this. And so if you weren't here the last time, which I don't know if you watched it, Archon basically is the security guard, and he doesn't like using technology for security reasons. I can hear loud growls coming from his mouth. He's fuming, unable to control his anger. He must have been holding this in for a while. Singe, are you insane? What? Singe is definitely surprised at this interjection. The audience is as well, and they watch in fright. Explain yourself at once, Akaran. Think about what you're saying. You want to keep everybody inside? After you've lined the place with weapons? You've turned us all into sitting ducks! Armstrong's weapons can be hacked. They're not as foolproof as you think. Real manpower can never be replicated. You can't be serious about this, Singe. Everybody's important to Clace. Everyone important to Clace is in here. And now they're surrounded by weapons. How could you be so foolish? Archon pushes Singe back against the wall. He holds him in place by his white coat, but Singe remains calm and collected. The audience gasps and watches on in awe. Of course, I read your psych evaluation. I see a seething hatred for Maxine Armstrong. I should have expected this outburst. Archon, I'd advise you to sit back down. You're only compromising your position. If I fire you, then she wins, right? Compromise, you say? You're the one compromising everything. You just told the world how to kill us all. Hack some weapons, set them off. We all need to evacuate immediately. Think logically, Archon. These weapons are extremely high-tech. They can't be hacked as easily as you think. They need authorization codes to set off. Only myself and Maxine know these codes. We both desire protection, Akaran. I will only use them if we are in danger. You believe I didn't think this through? But I'm not as stupid as you think. I know exactly what I'm doing here. These weapons are a last resort, in case your expertise fell through. And it looks like it might be starting to. I'd suggest you let go of me. Return to your seat immediately, Arkaran. You're only making a fool of yourself. You don't understand it like I do, Singe. Weapons cannot keep people safe. People are supposed to keep each other safe. You seem very worried, Arkaran. You seem scared of an infinitely small thing. A thing with almost impossible chances. Why do you hate Armstrong so much? What did they take away from you? Arkaran releases his grip, but not calmly. He lets out a sharp growl in Singe's direction, and then he returns to his seat with a look of shame. Singe dusts off his lab coat with his hands, as if the altercation had made him dirty. I am terribly sorry for that, folks. As you can see, we're all under duress. Part of why we said no photography. We're not ready for the spotlight just yet. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Refrain from reporting that incident. The audience nods in compliance. But please, report everything else, including the involvement of Armstrong. We thought it was right. It was the right time to know. She is here to protect, not harm. This building is armed and ready, but not all weapons are lethal. We have non-lethal means as well. So this place is far from a death trap. I will not use the lethal weapons. That is, unless my hand is forced. We are protected in many, many ways, and both myself and Maxine share goals. We want everybody inside to stay alive. Thank you all for coming. Please leave at your own accord. Singe bows to the audience and returns to his seat. They start to file out of the room. This is a lot to take in. I don't really know how I should feel. I mean, am I a prisoner here now? I'm not allowed to leave? That's not really cool at all. And we're surrounded by weapons? That does make me feel a little uneasy. Was Singe certain they couldn't be hacked or set off? Acheron has been extremely smart and knowledgeable. Was his outburst as incorrect as Singe let on? Or were we potentially in a dangerous situation? I take a deep breath and try to relax. By the time I'm calm, the room is empty. Save for those who were involved with the tour. After a few minutes pass, Singe turns to me. This is the first time he's addressed me directly. Well, he tries to address Keela as well, but it seems like he's lost in thought again. Well, that was a rather eventful conference. Never a shortage of quality entertainment. He smiles at us, seeming a lot more calm. Or perhaps it's like he's less professional. I guess he can relax a little after a speech like that. Being professional all the time can get tiring really fast. I'm sorry about meeting like this. The circumstances are less than ideal. I was really looking forward to this. So you're the leader then? So you're in charge of all this? I guess you could say that. But delegation is my expertise. It's why I have people like Rook and Jade. I could never do this all by myself. I'd cave under the pressure pretty quick. Managerial duties are less than forgiving. I have to ask, why lock us up? Do you really think that's a good idea? At first, I thought it was. But now I feel like it won't be easy. At least, not while Acheron is here. Are you going to get rid of him then? No, of course not. He's acclaimed the entire world over. There's no better candidate for this. Whether we agree with each other, though, doesn't matter. He'll get the job done. He'd never risk his flawless resume. But I'd love to talk more personally. Would you two stop by my office? It's better with less prying ears. We have much to discuss together, and I'm sure you have many questions. I definitely do, Not here, Keela. But I'll happily answer them in my office. For your reference, it's room 2A. Keela nods and I do as well. It was definitely cool to be talking to the ringleader. I felt like he was able to answer he'd be able to answer all our questions. There was more going on behind the scenes for sure. But I wonder, would he be sending us home? Or would we tour with Daz instead? He gives us another smile before walking away. Well, I guess I know where we're going. But I still have stuff to think about. Meet me in front of 2A when you're ready. Keela walks away and exits the room. Everyone else must have left while we were talking, because now the room is completely empty. I wonder what's bothering him so much. He's taken an interesting turn in the last little bit. I think he said something about his past. He seemed uncool with getting involved with the media. Perhaps that's what he wanted to talk with Singe about. I step down from the stage and see someone there. I could have sworn the room was empty a moment ago, but it's a familiar face, so I greet them. Wait, it's a Claire? What's she doing here? Oh, I hope he didn't see me. Hi, Tantroo. Her shoulders are slouched down, her posture poor. She seems to be an odd combination of scared and sad. But I knew who she was talking about. It was Rook. I ask her what she's doing here. Well, I heard about what happened last night, and I rushed over from work as soon as I could. That explains why she's still holding her stuff. And it's not the artist being lazy at all. It's the fact that she was in a rush, guys. I'm being silly. But, I didn't come to hear about Clace. I actually came for Rook, you know? I wanted to see how he was holding up. Oh god, that sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? I mean, I definitely care about Clace. But I needed to see Rook. Does that make me a bad person? I mean, everyone else here came for Clace, but here I am, only caring about Rook. That's what they call a creative workaround. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's quite a bit of lag. So we're going to have to wait around on this question for quite a bit of time, but is she a terrible person for just wanting to see Clace and not Rook? That's a good question. Terrible person? You're not a bad person? Or she's a horrible person for not caring about Clace's death? I just wanted to see her old boyfriend. Her old schmoochy schmooch. Well, am I horrible or not? Come on, don't leave me hanging, bro. One, two, skip a few, 99, 100. Wow, there is quite a bit of lag between. She's not a bad person. She just wants to get a booty call. Okay, that's fair enough. You're not a bad person, Claire. You just wanted to get a booty call. Of course she's not a bad person. Death is like throwing stone into a pond. Now that's kind of rude. It causes ripples and waves in a lot of places. It's a powerful force, and she was not in the wrong. She lets out a soft smile when I say this to her. Sorry if I put you in the spot. I guess I just needed some sort of feedback. Rook handles this stuff quite differently. I mean, I did tell you a little bit, so I'm hoping you understand my situation. I didn't want him reacting the same way. Singe's organization needs Rook. Just like Cafe Shot needed Rook. When he's gone, things got chaotic. I just wanted to see his face. That expression can say a lot, you know? I wasn't expecting him to notice me. I just wanted to take a look, that's all. For some reason, I thought it'd help. But I was wrong. It didn't help. It just made things more confusing. His face looked the same as always. I'd like to call it something like cold steel. Something that says, stay away from me. In fact, it looked like he was unfazed. But that couldn't be right, could it? I'm worried about what he might do. She did care about Rook a whole lot, I'll admit. But I was starting to wonder maybe it was too much. From my understanding, they've been out of contact. So then why was she always trying to talking about him? He barely talks about her, which makes it weird. Was she a little obsessed? Sorry for rambling on, Tantroo. I just don't want him to ditch Singe. Everyone needs to stick together here. You don't need to lose another person. Things are hard enough as it is. As I said, Rook is important. By the way, I'm glad I ran into you. It was nice to talk about things again. But yeah, I still owe you something. But this time, you have my word. I won't stop until you're satisfied. Oh boy. This is not the chat time or place, lady. Oh, and one more thing before I go. I wanted to ask you something about this. Do you think people can make up? You know, rebuild broken bridges? Or do you think it's a lost cause? You seem like a smart person, Tantroo. Am I being reasonable or am I being emotional? This choice will affect the flow of the story. So is it definitely possible for bridges to be mended, or do you believe that if a bridge is burned, that it stay burned? Because there's only one person here now. Yeah, we're gonna let them decide that. And if you want to decide, you can come join the party at 8:30 p.m. Fridays, guys. Because you can't make a decision. You can't affect the flow of the story unless you're here. Possible, just carry a Molotov just in case. Well, to re-burn those bridges, man, you're gonna burn them a second time? Come on. It's definitely possible. And that's what I tell her. People disconnect and reconnect all the time. Of course, it largely depended on the disconnect. If it was a sour departure, it might not be possible. But for two people who were once so close, I would say it's definitely possible. Thank you. That's good to hear. I was thinking it could just be in my head. That perhaps it was a pipe dream. Good to know that it's not just me. Perhaps I'll come back when things settle. And perhaps I'll reconnect with Rook. Well, I guess I'm better be going. I'm sure you have important stuff to do. Contests to win, stuff like that. Well, I already won one. That's the reason I'm here. I'll see you around, Mr. Lucky. She slowly walks away. But there's something in the way she moves. It's like she's happy. More so than yesterday. I should tell Keela that we should go back to the cafe chat. He'd probably enjoy hearing that. Would you like to save your game? Yes. And we did make some decisions. I guess a lot's happened over the last couple of hours. Life in this business moves pretty darn fast. I hope I can keep up with all this. My next step was Singe's office. He wanted to have a conversation with me and Keela. But I wonder what it was about. I hope he let us stay on the tour with Daz. I'd rather all my work not be for nothing. And I'd get to spend lots of time with everybody. Especially if we weren't able to leave the building. I doubt it would be as bad as Archeron thought. Only Max and Singe could set off the weapons. At the moment, they were on the same side. They were both in this to protect all of us. I feel at ease. But it was very short-lived. The tone on my phone echoes through the empty hall. I hesitantly check my text messages. I'm completely unaware of what awaits me. But after reading what I was about to, I knew things would never be normal again. One of your friends will die today. It will be your fault. You are not the one blessed with powers from the Ark. Things will be more fun from now on. Good luck. Dun dun dun! Bum 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 bum. The Ark. Before your arrival in Tokyo, and before the launch of the contest. So, if I may reiterate, I've recently engaged in a bargain. And my claim is dominion. Not only over Earth, but its people too, and the flow of time therein. I am certain you would like this power. In your line of work, it would be essential. Am I correct to assume that you agree? Yeah, but all that contained in this? It's a fragile-looking necklace. Fragile? The gears of fate are anything but. They spin in spite of defiance. By the way, called it. It's like he was wearing that necklace too. I mean, you could see it there, dude. Oh, here comes the storm. Ooh, that was a big one. Like a drill, moving forward in revolution. Time is not easily stopped. It is fickle and moves with vigor. So what? I can control time? In a way. What has happened cannot be changed, but you can stop it and slow it down. Like a river, it can flow or be still. The gear gives you the power to do this. So let's say I believe you. Which I am inclined to do. I mean, just look where I'm standing. I imagine all the people I can save. Those that are struggling or in danger. But I sense you want something in return. You wouldn't just hand out this power. I'm glad you're as smart as they say. The truth is, I grow tired of this place. The Ark is fun for a time, but my ambitions have grown larger. I seek a worthy successor, someone to rule in my stead. However, there is more than just time. The power of the Ark runs deeper. So this gear is just a taste, hmm? Indeed. The Ark governs life and death as well. This renders the dweller immortal. Governs life and death? You mean you can bring back the dead? Yes. Or I can cause the living to die. Something I fear I'll be doing more of. But you said you can reverse time. It's true, I can't. Oh, you can't reverse time. It's true, I can't. But time and life are separate entities. I'm not sure how to explain the difference. It's a concept hard to put into words, but it's easily understood in practice. If you become my successor, you'll see. You mean there's a chance I might not be? I didn't realize this was a gamble. I thought you were making me an offer. Of course this is a gamble, Max. You are not the only one who will be chosen. There will be a few contestants. You're fired. Along with a goal and an objective. I can't just give the Ark away, not without finding a worthy owner. Oh my gosh, it's like a Willy Wonka story in a Willy Wonka story. What the heck, man? It is your goal to prove that worth, and there will be others in your way. Very well, then. What are your terms? Right, let's add a sinister smirk. My terms are simple. Pay very close attention. Chapter 5, The Brief Reprieve. So, I'm guessing the person who wants me dead is that lady right there. It's like, and you're gonna die. My mind is blown. Nope, just the beer. Yeah, so basically what seems to be happening here is that Maxine Miss Weapons Lady is in a contest for the Ark, and I know that I'm a quote unquote, that my character is a quote unquote chosen one too, so that means if she knows that I am, then I'm in trouble. Like, real big trouble. Like, really, really, really bad trouble. Do you want to save your game? Yep. And I don't think there was any choices there. No, there wasn't really any choices there, so we're going to save. Present day. Oh, there's Kaylin. Now, I know Kaylin's a dude now, so I can't try to give her lady voice again. How are you holding up? Thirsty or hungry? Neither. Just feeling lonely. With me right beside you? I'm not sure if I should be offended. I thought I was pretty good company. I don't know if he gave me a gear or not. I don't think he did. Like, I don't know. You can never see your own character. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Of course you're good company, Kaylin. I'm missing a lot of people. That, and it's wet and dark. Wet is good. Humidity helps. You don't want to dry out in a cell. Trust me, it's an awful experience. I know you say you're not hungry, but I've been monitoring your eating. You'll starve if you don't have some more. Just ration this bread, Kaboo. Not a chance, that's yours. Not really, I can survive on little food. Your body isn't used to that, though. I can tell this situation is foreign to you. Seems to be the opposite for you. Spent a lot of time in prison, Kaylin? More than I'd admit. But being in prison isn't all that bad. Excuse me? I always seem to find a way out. This time will be no different. We're alive, so that means one thing. They want us alive. If they didn't, we'd be dead by now. Only you can find that reassuring. I'm afraid I don't share that sentiment. Player would never keep someone alive. Not unless they were important to him. So for now, we get free food and shelter. With a side of torture, you mean? Your optimism is an inspiration. It's just who I am. Think of it like this. Every time they take me out for torture, I can mentally map more of the estate. I'll have it all done in no time. Then we can plan our escape. I'm used to torture, trained to resist it. I'll make sure they always take me. Besides, I have some letters to send out. And what better time to do it? I hope my friends are getting them. I know this place inside out. I can definitely help you, but I can't let you suffer in my stead. Of course you can. That's what buddies are for. Buddies? I ain't your buddy, pal. I ain't your pal, guy. I ain't your pal, pal. Yeah. I want to help you out, Kaboo. That's why I gave you my bread. And while I'll make sure they don't hurt you. I don't think I can repay you for this, but... Well, you could tell me about yourself. If we're buddies, I should get to know you. I suppose that's a fair exchange. Will you tell me about yourself, too? Sorry, I don't really do that. The bread and care will have to suffice. Oh. But please, do tell me. I don't ask unless I genuinely care. Kellen lets out a soft smile. Well, it's just like I said at the rally. I don't remember much, but I'm not a Terran. The first thing I remembered is Loy Player. I'm sorry to hear that. That must not be a pleasant first memory. In this case, you're wrong. I look back on that memory very fondly. Were it not for Player, I'd be dead. Back then, he was different. He treated me as if I were a Terran native, like I was his own flesh and blood. But everything changed, and so fast. Politics turned him into a different man. He was much easier to coerce and influence. He only cared about his following. He lost sight of his true self. But I suppose it's collateral damage. Not many people stick to their views, especially when others don't share them. He started telling people what they wanted. No longer did he talk about what he wanted. It's all about pleasing the population. It can be addicting, having power, having people cheer your presence. I can see how that changed him. I guess he gave in. That's when I started to feel neglected. He would rarely speak to me. That must be hard, having a father figure treat you that way. Is that why you decided to speak up? No, that's a different matter entirely. A lot changed when Riley came on board. He was supposed to be Playa's advisor, but it's more like he owned Lord Playa. Suddenly Riley was the one in charge, and he made him do horrible things. What do you mean? This isn't the only cell down here. There are others, filled with people. He's keeping undocumented immigrants. Riley convinced him to do this. The immigration stance was his idea. Player loved immigrants. He loved me. They were able to get a steady supply. Something about two men with connections. They came to some sort of arrangement, but they've kept everyone alive. So, it's not like they wanted to kill him. It's more like they wanted to ostracize them. He thinks it'll make Terra better, but that hurts me. It really does. I wouldn't be part of this new Terra. I heard him talking with Riley. If elected, they'll make more prisons, immigration camps, or something like that. Place to keep them while he works. He wants to sever Terra's connection, remove us from the galactic community. But that's far too dangerous, Kalen. We know what happened when Valaquez tried. This is not something to be trifled with. I find this all hard to believe. So we're not really alone down here? Not at all. But getting back on topic, all this was Riley's doing. He makes Player do these awful things. But it's still Player himself that does them. His hands have gotten so dirty, Kalen, while Riley's have remained as clean as ever. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, he's setting Playa up. He wants to remove Playa from the picture. Then he'll be free to usurp the campaign. Okay, now I'm a little confused. You say it's Riley behind all this? Then why did you frame Player at the rally? Riley must believe that he's winning. That way, he can let his guard down. I got help from an assassin, Endymon. Together we can we created a fake manifest. That's what I submitted at the rally. And that's what started all of this. You must have thought I was stupid, turning against Lord Playa so easily, especially with evidence forged in haste. It did seem a little odd, but now I understand why. So, what's the next step? Hopefully Playa can realize the truth. After this, he'll want to escape blame. Maybe he'll place the pieces together. Hopefully in doing this, he'll realize That's when the both of us come in. Assuming he learns of your guild heritage. He'll realize he can't escape the storm. At this point, he'll seek protection. And that's exactly what you can offer. He should come down here to talk, and that's when we barter. Use your services to gain freedom. You thought all this through? I did. Sorry if it's complicated, but if we can protect player, we can use him. His testimony will fully expose Riley. Of course, they'll lose all validity. No one will ever vote for those two men. It'll secure the election for Valaquez. I misjudged you. I'm impressed. Most do, and that makes it easier. I can avoid suspicion and detection. Wow, you think like a mercenary. You'd be a great addition, Kabu. Maybe the guild life would suit you. At least that's the way I think. Always be steps ahead of the enemy. Then you'll be able to counter them. It's one of the first things I learned. I guess I wasn't lucky enough to learn it. All this came to me by instinct. Sounds lucky to me. So what do we do? Just wait? That's all we can do, really. Wait for player to come to his senses, or perhaps wait for him to get caught. The Wayfarer's Tavern, huh? It looks a bit more modern than it was before. Just saying. Wow, we screwed everything up, don't we? Can't even take a nap without ruining stuff. How do you think the king will take all this? You know, that his savior is missing. He's gonna be furious, Andy. Quiet. It's not the time or place for jokes. We need to figure out what happened. The savior must be somewhere nearby. There's too much of the line to leave this. We have to figure it out, and fast. Sorry. But maybe he just left of his own will? I mean, we never had him in shackles. They always had the freedom to walk. But we explained things so well. I was certain we had their allegiance. They can't have just walked away. Look for clues. There's more here. I know it. Oh, we're detectives now? Did I sleep through that meeting? Conrad, enough. Sorry for yelling. Would you please help me look around? Look for elements of foul play. Then we can decide our next actions. Yeah, I'm on it. And I'll try to keep low on the jokes. I didn't realize this was such a hot topic. Just a hard habit to kick. Especially when it's second nature, you know? I understand. Thanks. You start looking over there. I'll get this half of the room. I appreciate it. They couldn't have gone far either. So, the faster we find the lead, the better. Spend a few moments scouting the room. After a few moments, Endymion makes a discovery. Endymion. Conrad. Yeah. Come here. I found something. What is it? It's blood. Wait. The Savior's blood? I don't know. But this tattered piece of clothing, I'd recognize it anywhere, Conrad. Lord Player was here. That's impossible. We're still on good terms with him. Anyone holds up a piece of fabric. The blood has long since dried. Well, who else would wear this? There's no other explanation. I've seen him wear this many times. That's purely conjecture. We should look around a little more. He knew all about Lord Player. There's no way he'd lead willingly, yet there's no signs of struggle. Fabric was torn and blood drawn. That doesn't happen without a fight. There's have to be something left behind. But everything's in pristine condition. Perhaps we're falling into a trap? Being tricked into thinking this way? This could be what the assailant wants. We were just next door, Endymion. We would have heard it if anything happened. Think about this logically, no assuming. I'm not assuming anything, Conrad. The evidence is right before me. There's no mistaking what I'm seeing. Lord Player must have abducted Savior. We must take haste to his residence. Our guise has been broken. We can attack head on. We would have heard an abduction, Endymion. Think about this. I'm begging you. They could have spiked our wine, Conrad. I knew I slept longer than usual. Now you're being paranoid. Conrad, just stop it. We had someone capable of saving Tara, and now they're missing, with evidence. This is a perfectly logical conclusion. I suppose, at first glance. Exactly, and there's a chance I'm right. We have to act on that no matter how small. If we don't, the Savior could be killed. There is too much in the balance to debate. We need to take action before anything else. At least meet me halfway, Andy. We can't afford to be so reckless. What do you have in mind? Let's just pay him a visit. We can gauge how he treats us. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly. If he tries anything funny, then we act. But right now, it's not right to assume. We could be heading into a trap, you know. If we attacked first, we'd blow our cover. Then everything would just fall apart. That could easily be someone's true goal. Very well. Endymion places his hand on Conrad's shoulder. But if he is holding the Savior, or if he gives us the slightest suspicion, I will show him no mercy. I promise. I don't know, in that particular scene, their roles seemed a bit reversed. Like, their dialogue seemed a bit reversed. Like, Conrad was acting rational while Endymion, who is usually the more rational and, collected one, is acting rash and somewhat, I don't know. I don't know if their dialogue got jumbled or what. But anyway, that's why it was hard for me to read it, because it was like, these seem slightly reversed in character. You can see how this is important to me. Normally I wouldn't go to such extremes, but Kaylin's life is on the line here. You always did have a soft spot for him. It's rare to see you in dire straits. But yeah, I guess I can understand. What do you want me to do about it? I'm one of your enemies, after all. Why would I help the competition? You wouldn't help the competition, but you might help a friend. Oh, we're friends now? When you need help, that's how that works?
Samantha.
Don't call me that. It's Sam.
I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but this time I really need your help.
You had your chance to recruit me, but you chose that pretty boy instead. Now you want me to help you save him? The irony is almost comedic.
Are you only here to mock me?
Well, I needed to check in on things. My boss needs all kinds of information.
And who is your boss exactly?
Sorry, lips are sealed. Holly Dolly Parton Batman. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. But you're asking me to sway allegiance. Only coin can get me to do that, righty? And no small amount of them either. But I might also use this chance to spy, so don't think I'm yours for good. I could turn my back and sell you out.
I was fully expecting to pay for this. As a mercenary, I know the power of money.
Very well. Tell me the full story. I don't want any naughty little surprises. I don't get along with those, righty.
Well, Kalen is being held prisoner in Lord Player's manor, actually. Maybe you have heard of him?
Of course I have. Are you crazy? The security on his estate is massive.
That's why I've come to you.
I'll require a bonus then.
Fine, but it's just a rescue mission. Not much else is out of the ordinary. But if there are any other prisoners, I think we should extract them as well.
Bonus.
Also, I'm open to any important facts. If you could dig up dirt on Player or the King.
Bonus. Also, you may be subject to more bonuses, especially if mission parameters change. Do you find this acceptable, righty? When you brought your own flotation devices. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, the chat is horrible, folks. You should be here to see the chat. Friday, 8:30. Hey, it's not as bad as some of the chats I've seen on YouTube. Anyways.
Yes, but I'm coming with you.
Like hell you are. I work alone.
No, you work with me now.
No thanks. We tried that once before. You said I was too reckless, I think. Chose pretty boy over me.
This isn't an entrance exam, Sam. Lives are on the line, you know. I didn't pay you back then. I set the mission parameters. You will charge me accordingly.
Fine, but I doubt you can afford me. Especially not when you meet in a cellar. Headquarters under a tavern. That's rich.
Actually, it's the other way around. The tavern was built over my HQ. The tunnels are deep. Lots of secrets. Remember, Velasquez founded this place. The royal treasure is nearly limitless.
Trust me, I'm aware.
So what do you think? Can we work together, Sam?
Sure. Let's talk numbers. You like to save your game? Yes. Once again, there wasn't any options. Foxy lady. Foxy. You know your little heartbreaker. Foxy. Anyway.
Wish I knew what to do. Honestly, Dusk, I'm conflicted. I can understand given your situation. I fear my allies have turned against me. I'm trying to help everyone, Dusk. You've done a fine job of that, my lord. You definitely have my allegiance. For that, I am honored. But they don't appreciate my secrecy. I haven't really been transparent. I've been quiet about my plans, and that means one important thing. People fill the cracks with imagination. Their own thoughts make me a villain. People tend to do that, especially under such grim circumstances. Many citizens think a worst-case scenario. They don't have this life of luxury. I think you should visit the people. Work in public relations would be great. I'm not sure about public relations. No amount of that can fix what's coming. Tell me, Dusk. If you could do something truly amazing, would you do it without hesitation? Without a doubt. What if the world hated you for it? They wouldn't see the good right away, no matter how beautiful things ended up. I'm not sure, my lord. If it was good, it would be obvious. I don't see why people would hate. See, I can sense hesitation, Dusk. But don't worry, I feel the same way. Especially when the time is finally here. And now, I'm just not sure. Do not let your resolve falter, my king. Especially not based on others' opinions. There are always those who would oppose you. I'm afraid that's the only advice I have. It's not bad advice. I'm glad I sought your counsel. You must think me foolish. The immortal king, doubting his actions. I'm supposed to know everything, aren't I? I'm supposed to know everything, aren't I? Again, that's just something people say. Don't become who they think you are. You'll only end up losing sight of your true self. And that's something we cannot lose. You are wise beyond your years, especially as numerous as they have been. Yes, they have been many, but I fear this may be my last. Again, at a much earlier time. Let's do the time warp again. You want me to what? I'm sorry. I believe I misheard you. I'm afraid you didn't, Ms. Armstrong. But you know who I am. I'm in the business of protecting others. You can't expect me to consider this. Yes, you do like to protect others. But this comes with something else. You understand the importance of death. It is everywhere. It is unavoidable. While all around us, it consumes us. The power of death is immeasurable. Surely you've been touched by it as well. Perhaps you've lost someone dear to you. Someone you'd give anything to see again. Even the lives of others, perhaps. Yes, I have. But you can't just... Think of it this way, Max. You know that the Ark is capable of. You could bring an end to death as a whole. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what your company is dedicated to? Protecting others, saving them from death? Nobody would ever lose a loved one again. No one would experience the pain, the grief. Surely this is worth what I am asking. You're asking me to kill. But think of the loved ones you've lost. Wouldn't you like to see them again? Bring them back? Have them full of life?
There has to be some other way. I'm afraid there isn't. You've been running from death for too long. It's time to embrace it now. Live it. The ruler of the Ark must not fear death. They cannot hesitate in the face of it. You have to confront it head on, Max. You've mastered the concept of life. Your company is dedicated to preservation. Now it's time to embrace the other side. It's true, you protect people from death. But no matter what, death still exists. You need to gain a greater understanding. Only then will you be fit to rule. A ruler is a master of every avenue, not just one or a few. A ruler can never pretend. Until now, you've run away from death. To rule the Ark, you must master it. I don't know what to say. This isn't something I should consider. But standing here and seeing this place, it gives your words more importance. This place is truly beautiful, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. If you're being honest about this power, I can't afford to deny your request. An end to death, what I've always wanted. But at the cost of more death, I don't know if I want to stain my hands. I never said it had to be you, Max. Remember the gear I have given you? Using it, accidents could happen. Also, let's not be stupid here. You've used your products for your own gain. I could think of a few times without effort. How does he know that? Just who is this guy? Give me a moment to think about it, please. Of course. It's not an easy decision to make, but by all means, take your time. Okay, let's recap here, Max. I was at home like I normally was. I'm dozing myself off. I found myself here. Apparently this place is called the Ark. The current owner wants to leave, so he's taking time to seek a replacement. He's told me that it controls time's flow, but he said it controls life and death too, which means he can kill anyone he wants. Or he can keep those he likes alive. For some reason, I'm in this contest, but I have to prove my mastery over death. Managing Armstrong is mastering life. I guess I have to see the other side. Maybe that's why he chose me. I'm halfway. First I mastered life and now death. But I need to kill people to do that. But I don't know. I usually do the opposite. However, he hinted I could use weapons. But that part is somewhat appealing. Wait a minute. If what he said about the Ark is true, I can just resurrect those I've killed. In this case, it is just symbolic. My actions wouldn't be permanent. Unless I lose, of course. But with all this power, I couldn't. Control of time and company assets? I don't think it's possible to lose. I'd have all the time in the world. You're a genius, Max. You can play him. Do what he wants, and then reverse it all. Alright, I'm in. Can you give me more specifics? Yes, of course. A world tour is about to launch in Tokyo. I suggest buying a plane ticket. You'll be needed there right away. And dun dun dun. Present time. Yep, so she's going to kill us all. We're gonna die. I gazed at my phone what seemed like an eternity. I simply couldn't process what I was seeing. Someone else had gained powers from the Ark? I knew that man wasn't telling me everything. My initial instinct was to show this to Archon, but I couldn't reveal my powers to him just like that. In fact, I don't know who I could show this to. I likely have to keep it to myself, which is awful. Why couldn't someone on my side have powers? Things have not gone my way since I returned from Terra. I suddenly long for simpler times of yesterday, back when my biggest worries were Rook and Keela. I longed for the peace of what I had experienced, especially the fact that there are weapons here. Even after what Singe said, I was still scared. I guess Archeron was here to protect us, at least. I should pay him another visit. Keep him close. And then I remembered Singe wants to see me. Perhaps he could shed some more light on all this. Because as of now, I feel like I'm a prisoner here. And that was definitely not in the contest terms. I take a deep breath, and as I go to leave the room, out of the corner of my eye, I see a box on the floor. It has a small blinking light on it, and it's red. See. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a good question. Like if I'm seeing these events as sort of part of a thing. I don't think my character is supposed to be aware of it. And that's sort of kind of a critique. I guess would be a critique on the game a little bit. Would be, and it was something I did think about earlier, but never really expressed it outright, is that the game is in first person. I'm supposed to be experiencing what this character experiences. But the game does have a tendency to reveal things that my character doesn't know yet. So I don't like this is like one of those things. It's like the game is what it is right now, but it would be curious to see what the game would be like without having everything explained to me, sort of in these kind of flashback sort of things that I'm not really supposed to see, and so developing character as I see them. Being surprised a little bit, It's sort of like those two different styles of things. But anyway. So let's see. It has a small blinking red on it. I don't remember seeing that before the conference. It's a bomb. But it has to be one of the weapons. Which means I need to get out of this room. With that as my only goal, I quickly walk out. Would you like to save your game? Yes. And I believe there was no choices. Again, yeah, because it was all story, basically. Alright. How long was this so far? Yeah, I think it's been an hour and a half, hasn't it? Alright, so I think I should wrap it up. And I'm gonna... Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm going to call it a night. It's 10 o'clock. It's a robotic cushion bomb. Blinking red lights. It's bad. It's a bad thing. It's bad. Anyways, thank you for coming out tonight and watching another episode of the Major Minor. I think we're about halfway through. I think Chapter 5 is about halfway through. Let me check real quick. Chapter 5, Chapter 9. Yeah, there's 10 chapters, so we're about halfway. But seems like we're finding out who the antagonist is. Now, interestingly enough, now that we're on the cover, you notice who these two kind of individuals who are on the front cover of the title of the game. Very much seems to be like she's definitely the antagonist with the weapons, and she's going to go crazy and probably use them. And I'm guessing the bodyguard's going to come in to try and protect me from this crazy lady who has powers. And we'll see how the powers come into play on both sides in the future, I'm sure. But once again, thank you very much for watching. Be sure, if you're watching the recording, you can watch it live, and you can interact, and we can have more funs with it if you show up and start making conversation in the thing. And Yeah, and we'll do that. But you'd be 8:30 Eastern time on Fridays. We'll be playing this. I'm guessing a few weeks from now, though, that that new Sonic game's going to come out, and I might take a break from Major Minor for a bit, because, you know, Sonic's going to interject itself in here, like he always does. But I'll let you know if that happens, and you'll certainly see the announcement and scheduling on the thing. But I'm going to get the hop out of here for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the next time we do this thing, on the next Friday, for another episode of Major Minor. See you later.